What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Dewan. Today, I got a very special guest. I got the homie, CLI soldier, Jarrett Todd, in the building. What's good, Jarrett?
What's going on, Dewan? How are you?
Man, I'm great, man. I'm great, man.
It's been a long
Yo,
time coming. I hope we can give the people what they want.
yes, sir. It has been a long time coming. Yo, fam. So you were one of the first people to really, I would say, holler at me on YouTube
Right.
and that I just watched rise. You know what I mean? From working to get your CCNA to
Right.
transition. You were like you was working for is you were installing cable at one point, right?
No, I was working for an appliance company, so I was
Appliance
basically
company.
repairing appliances, installing them and stuff like that. And I found out they was laying us off, so I had to hurry up and find a new field, and networking was it. I discovered your channel, and it kind of motivated me, myself and my coworker. Shout out to Sook. He's out there. Hopefully he's going to be watching. You inspired both of us to, go after the certification. So
That's what's up, man. Shout out to Sue. All
mhm.
right, yo, it's crazy, when you see somebody's hard work pay off.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm just gonna let you tell your story, bro. What's good?
Uh, so yeah, I was working at a job. The job I was at previously, I was working there for 3 years. I was an appliance technician. So whatever, appliance thing, I was the guy. I was fixing it. They had like a whole new management come in. So, like I said, they were laying people off, and we were the ones, selected. And for 3 months, I was out of work. 3 to 4 months, I was out of work. I was like sitting around wondering what I should do. I was talking to my cousin. He's actually an IT manager in Maryland, I believe. He works for the government. So he mentioned to me like a little bit of networking stuff or a little bit of IT stuff, but I didn't really pay it no mind because, you had a job, you think you're secure. I learned what loyalty meant. You thinking you're secure, and you're really not. And he was kind of telling me about the field. So when I left Maryland, I came back home, and I was just on YouTube, looking up IT fields and stuff. It was you and what was the other guy's name? Jorge?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was you and
for
him.
Amazon.
Yeah, it was you and him who kind of motivated me to like, okay, I need to get on my grind. So I bought the books. I bought a big lab, which I actually just took apart because I'm moving stuff around. And yeah, I got busy, man. It took me three. No, I started in, let's see, around November, December 2017. And yeah, it took me 3 months to find a job after I got the certification. And I'm happy I found the job. Shout out to his Twitter name is Joey IT Nerd. He told me his company was hiring. And at first I was doubting myself. I was like, yo, I looked at the job description. I was like, whoa, like, they want CCNP, they want you to know Juniper, Arista, they want you to know all these devices. He was just like, go for it, and I went for it. And yeah, I got the interview. I thought I did bad. Actually, no. When I went home after the interview, I was like, yo, I didn't do well at all.
Yeah, I remember you hit me up and we was
Yeah,
talking about it.
yeah, you remember the story, yeah.
Yeah, I remember, bro.
I hit Kawan up after the interview. I was like, yo, man, I don't know. And it's funny because I actually was talking to my director about a week ago, and I asked him, like, why did you hire me? I didn't have all the credentials that you guys were looking for. He was like, I could tell in the interview that you was willing to do whatever it took to learn and catch up to speed and such like that. And hearing that was kind of like, oh, wow, okay. They actually seen that in me. So I have to somehow give it back, make sure that return on investment is, A-okay.
Hey, man, that's a blessing. Congratulations to you, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like I said, I love seeing that hard work pay off for you. And so not only is it your hard work, but just putting yourself out there and networking with people
Yeah.
open the door for you. And I believe that's something other people can take away.
Oh, yeah. I even give people advice, man, like how to look for jobs. Because it took me, I applied to like 20, 30 jobs, and I told you this.
Right.
And only 2 of them got back to me. And the one that I'm at now was one of them. So, and I chose this one because it seemed a lot more fun. And I'm having loads of fun. Like I'm learning. Like today, like it wasn't even my day to work, but I signed on to see how they do the automation stuff. You know,
Right.
so stuff like that that goes a long way. But yeah, it took me a while. 30 something jobs applied to.
Hey, it be like that, especially when you're trying to get your foot in the door somewhere.
Exactly.
Um, Shout out to you, bro. Now, how long did it take you to get? I'm kind of backtracking. How long did it take you to get your CCNA when you first started studying?
The full CCNA or the CCNT first?
Let's say both.
Okay, both. I started the CCNT studies in November, December, like last year around that time. And I got my CCNA. Actually, give me a second, because I'll be able to pull it up on the since I'm moving stuff around. All right. So this was the CCNA. So I got this June 11th, the full CCNA, but I got my CCNT March 31st. So November, December, January, February, March. So 5 months for the CCNT, and then June, March,
About
April, May.
4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right, bro. You know, especially when you are coming from a brand new industry, it's gonna take
Yeah.
you longer to get that CCN, but once you get that material, you know, it's gonna take a short amount of time to get the CCNA.
Right.
So you apply for 30 something jobs.
Yep. Yeah, I can. And I wrote. It's funny. I wrote, like, you know how Indeed you apply for a job and you see like the cover letter section, like when you hit the quick apply button.
Right.
I wrote a cover letter for each job, bro.
Like
Each job, and I can show you guys the documents. Like one day I'll probably just screenshot all the cover letters that I wrote for every company. Like it was ridiculous. I was going in that much.
man, you did go in because I never really did cover letters.
I'm pretty old school, man. Like I still think a cover letter goes along. Like I'll be happy if I was like a hiring manager and someone took out their time to kind of, okay,
Right.
hello, Jarrett Todd, I'm looking to apply for this. I know that you're the manager. Here's my skill set, blah, blah, blah. Like I would appreciate that. So I was thinking from that mindset.
No, I mean you got to do what works for you. So salute to
Right.
you. Now, here's a question: when
Mm-hmm.
you tailored your cover letter for the position, did you also tailor your resume for the position?
Yeah. The way that worked, because I didn't really have experience like that.
Right.
I used to build computers for people back in the day, like,
Okay.
and I would, wire people's internet, but I never really took it like serious to put on my resume until I started applying for these type of jobs, because it's like consulting work,
Right.
So I put like voluntary consulting, building people's computers. People ask me what they want, I
Right.
build it out for them. So that's help desk support in a sense, except you're doing it for yourself and your friends and your family, So
Right.
that's experience too. Like that's one key that I can give to everyone.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you got your foot in the door, how much of the CCNA information um, did you actually utilize on the position?
Oh man, my first day. I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story. My first day at work, I'm completely blind to everything.
Right.
My director looks at me. So I work at like a financial tech company. So all the big banks, you're troubleshooting, you help building out their networks, right?
Interesting.
So
That's
my
what's up.
first day, he's like, such and such bank is on the line. Get on the phone. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, get on the phone. I just want to see how you do. I was like, okay. Now, the whole time they're talking, like, I really didn't have to say anything, but I'm like, my head went from here to like this, because mostly we deal with like BGP
Right.
and multicast, and I wasn't that fond of BGP and multicast going into the job. So when I was hearing it on the phone, I'm like, oh, he's gonna think I'm failing. Like this is bad, And he was like, "How was it?" I was like, he said, "Oh, don't worry, it's gonna be like this every day." I was like, oh. But it made me go home and kind of crack the book open, because I picked up on certain keywords, and I went home, cracked the book open, learned. I couldn't, soak in everything, but
Right.
stuff that like they were mentioning, like redistribution, like IGP redistribution, like all that type of stuff. And I'm just like, okay, that's what I have to look up when I get home. Like okay, I got to do that when I get home.
Yeah.
But, how much of the CCNA? Right off the bat, all of it. All of it. Mainly like ACL, security ACLs. Like I touched the firewall like my first week, and I didn't know what I was doing. Luckily, I had Google on the side, but all the CCNA topics, my first week was it was all there.
Hey, and that's what I try to tell people about going from like the CCNA to CCNA to like CCNA to CCNP. Is that you don't see firewalls at the CCNA level or the CCNP level. That's really got to go over to CCNA security to actually get that firewall exposure.
Right.
So that's what's up. Now, bro, you travel an hour work each way. You still do
like an hour and a half, hour 45 on a bad day.
Man, let's talk about that. You can't just say that and leave it at that. Because that's dedication, man. So,
here's my routine. I get up 4 a.m. I do like a couple push-ups or whatever, hit the shower. I put on my dress clothes. That's one thing I like about the job. I get to dress up. I don't really get to do that every day. So, to throw on a shirt and some slacks, that's pretty cool. So, I get up at 4. I do all that, get ready. I'll probably have like a little. Actually, I'm intermittent fasting now, so I don't really eat until I get to work. So, 4 a.m, I'm out the door by, let's say 5 o'clock. Yeah, about like 5 o'clock, 5:15ish, like around there. I'm at the train station because I park in the park and I walk up. So I'm at the train station about, let's see, I leave at 5:15. It takes me about 15 minutes. So yeah, I'm there, but like 5:30, I walk up, I catch the 6 o'clock train. It takes about 45 minutes because it's an express train. And then before I was actually taking, because there's 2 ways to get into the city when you commute from Jersey. You have the train, NJ Transit, straight to NY Penn Station, and then you have NJ Transit to North Penn Station, and you catch the path to the World Trade Center. That's actually the cheaper option, so I'm doing that now. So I get there, I get to the train station, I get to North Penn Station, then I catch the path all the way to the World Trade Center, the One World Trade Center. Then I walk down to my job. That's like an extra 10, 15 minutes, depending on the day if it's sloppy out. But
hey, man,
about 45 minutes, man. It's helping because I'm, getting a little exercise too. So
yeah, hey, that's dedication, but you're learning a lot.
Yeah, that's the trade-off, man. Like I'm not really looking for a job. I wasn't really concerned about the distance. Well, I shouldn't say that. I wasn't really concerned about like an hour and some change. Like I would have been more concerned if it was like 2 hours plus,
Right.
And plus I always wanted to work in the city. And I remember I put that on Twitter. I was like, yo, I want to work in New York as a network engineer. About like 3 weeks later, it happened. So I think about the trade-off. It gives me time to read books on the train because that 45 minutes, you're kind of just sitting there. I'm not just going to look at my phone all day.
Right.
You have my CCNP route book in my book bag, and I just pull it open, review some BGP for the day, and I can be working on a completely different thing, but I'm still trying to focus on that BGP and that multicast. So
facts, man. Hey, man, that's dedication, bro. Much respect for that.
Right.
So on the train ride, all you read is CISCO books. Is there any other books that you read, for like personal growth or anything like that?
Yeah, I got a book called Random Walk Down Wall Street. I work in Wall Street, so I see a lot of I'm exposed to a lot of finance stuff, and that stuff kind of intrigues me at the moment because I hear people at my job talking about investments and stuff like that. And, I'm 29, so I'm trying to get into it early. Hopefully find some things that can turn out big for me by the time I'm like 50. So I got Random Walk Down Wall Street. I have a book called Intelligent Investor. I actually have a bunch of books. Celestine Prophecy. I think I told you about that before.
Yes.
I read that before.
Yeah, Celestine Prophecy. Yeah, I read it.
It's funny because that book kind of relates to everything that happened for me while searching for the job, because it's like finding people along the way who's after the same things you're after, and that's kind of what I took from the book. So
Yeah.
What else am I reading, man? My notes. It's not a Cisco book, but you know,
Nah.
yeah, just mainly that, like self-help stuff. Nothing. I actually read How to Win Friends and Influence People again.
By Dale Carnegie. Yeah, that's a good book. I think everybody should read that. It's in business.
I think you and I was texting at the time. That's when I have the old version though. Like my pages are yellow, but it's still the same concept.
It don't matter.
You treat everyone the same, you know. So
yes, sir. Facts.
yeah. So those are the books that I'm reading. But yeah, mostly financial stuff, you know. So
Hey man, I blew a lot of money in my life.
Oh, I did too, man. You want to talk about sneakers? You want to talk about clothes I don't even wear no more? You know?
Yeah, we can talk about everything, but when you're in a position now, when you make that transition, I don't know how much you're making, but regardless, when you get a chance to really start making money, you're around people that have money, especially working on Wall Street.
Yep.
You know, soak that up. You know what I mean?
Will, yeah.
And spend differently, spend wisely, because your purchase dollars, you know what I mean, is everything. Every dollar you spend, you know what I mean, you can actually spend it to make you more money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, right now I'm definitely not spending as much money as I used to.
Right.
My girlfriend and I, we saving up for a house, so you know, you can't really go out and have food and stuff like that.
Right.
And go out and have fun, you know, with all the friends like you used to. But yeah, man, hearing those guys talk sometimes, like I don't have the money that they have. We can put it like that. But eventually, I'll get there. Just got to be smart with it. I can't be messing around, you know.
Yeah, man. Hey, most people that have money didn't just get the money overnight.
That's
I mean, it's about what you do with the money you have, not about how the money they have. It's about doing what you do with the money you have. That's something I learned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's another thing I learned too. Like, don't pay attention to what other people have. You know, what's going to be for you is going to come. Like, you can't. You know, one guy might have the Bentley down the street, and you got the Hyundai. You just got to rock with the Hyundai for a couple years, and your Bentley will come if you want one at the time. You know, I don't want a Bentley, but you know.
Yeah. Hey, some old cat told me this one day when I first started my system admin job. We were sitting there talking about money, and he was like, "Man, if you pay attention, like when you were younger and you was out here buying J's and buying sneakers, you will work with a person that makes the same as you and say they got 5 kids and their wife don't work. So this single person going out blowing his money every weekend, come Wednesday, Thursday, he's asking the dude that got 5 kids and a wife that don't work, some money for lunch."
Yeah, that's not.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about what you do. Yeah, it's all about what you do with the money you have.
Right.
So, but hey, man, like, you're an inspiration, family. Just to watch your journey and watch what you're doing. What's next, man? What you want to do as far as you want to be a senior network engineer? What you got lined up? You ain't got to tell me everything, but what you see yourself doing?
So right now I'm focusing. My job is heavy on they're trying to kick the whole automation thing right now. So right now I'm focusing on DevOps a little bit, Python, Ansible. Like my director, like I was telling you earlier, it wasn't even my work day, but he was doing like the Ansible jobs today, and I wanted to get in and learn. Like my coworkers were on too, and I work from home on Sundays, so I had the laptop. I was like, I'm gonna just get on, see what they're doing. And it was a little confusing. Like I wrote down what I can write down, but I'm gonna go back later and review it. Review it.
Yeah.
Going back to Sook, because he just found a job not too long ago. So he was talking with his manager, and he was like, "Yo, like I didn't even know this. Like I didn't know you can skip the CCNP and go for the CCIE. Like I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was just gonna follow the regular certification track,
Right.
So I might go for the CCIE, man. I don't have no kids or nothing right now, so it's like, I don't want to say I don't have distractions, But if I want to, I was talking, I told you about the guy who left my job recently, right? He was a senior guy. One of the
Oh,
best,
yeah.
yeah, one of the best dudes to kind of show me the ropes. And the best thing that I liked is whenever I asked him a question, he never gave me the direct answer. He always asked me a question back. I would ask him, like, why does this work like that? He was like, okay, we have a VLAN here, we have this here, we have this here. Why do you think it works like that? Like, he'll just put the pieces on the table, and I basically have to walk away for like 5-10 minutes to think. And I put the pieces together. I'm like, hey, Ray, this is why it works because, such and such VLAN does this, while this one's like, I can't really explain like a certain situation, but I felt like that's what happened every time I asked him a question.
Yeah, he challenged you to think.
Yeah.
He challenged you to think.
And he was one of the main ones who kind of was like, hey, man, you should just go for your CCIE. He has kids, so he can't really, go for the CCIE like that. Not making excuses, but I understand like a CCIE takes, 3 years for most people from what I've read. And, I'm going to try to do it in 2. We'll see how the job goes. We'll see. Because work has been picking up. I'm no longer the new guy. So work has definitely been picking up, and I've been, I don't get paid overtime, but I don't mind staying in the office some days neither, And
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I'll go for the CCIE, guys.
Man, you can do it, bro. You can do it. Now, as far as your job, do you lab up what you learn at work at home? Do you have time to do that?
Let's see. All right, so a part of this is probably the worst thing about the commute, but it actually works out with my new schedule. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I get up at 4 in the morning, and then when I get back home, I'm home around like 6, 7 o'clock.
Oh man.
Because I have to be in bed in like 2-3 hours, Like I try not to sleep past 10 o'clock. So a lot of people and it's funny because I wake up to a bunch of Twitter messages and mentions. I'm like, whoa, I missed a whole lot. I'm not ignoring you guys. It's just I'm in bed early.
Yeah.
So Monday through Wednesday, I don't really get to lab as much as I used to. Like, first of all, I don't lab as much as I used to, period. And I know that's bad to say, but it's a lot of things been happening. I have, my mom's sick, my grandmother's sick, so we kind of bouncing back and forth. But I do what I can. Like I do what I can in Packet Tracer. 7.2 came out, and I can't lab BGP and multicast on Packet Tracer the way that I want or the way that my job is set up. But I can do like simple prefix lists, redistribution stuff. We run OSPF, so I can do Packet Tracer can do a lot of OSPF stuff. So I can do that. What else? It's hard to lab up troubleshooting scenarios because we manage how many devices? I want to say like over 300. So it's hard to replicate all of that in one lab, but I do what I can. Like simple, I like to lab up redistribution. Like I learned about BGP communities. I'll probably pull that up in GNS3.
Send the communities to the ISP.
Yep.
Yeah, so they can determine which route path to take.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny. We actually was troubleshooting a BGP issue, and this is a CCIE level. Keep in mind. To like the last. What's the
med? Went down to the med.
No, I went past that.
Like went past the med.
Yeah. I don't remember the list, but I remember my director saying like, "Wow, like this is rare." Because usually you have like your local preference set.
You got your weight. You got your local preference.
Yep.
It goes down to the med. It goes down to the AS. What else is it? Let me go. I'll go real quick.
Internal local route, something like that. I can't remember the list off my head, but
I got it right here, bro.
Oh, you got it? All right, cool.
Yeah, I got it right.
Keep going.
Let me see. All right, so the med is the 6 at the lowest origin. Then 7 is EGP over IGP, and then 8 is IGP, which is mentioned to your neighbor. If you've done any kind of load balancing, 9 is the old route, and 10 is the lowest router ID.
I think it was number 9. If I'll ask him on Monday.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it went like to the lowest, like towards the bottom of the list.
That's crazy.
Everyone was so like, like because everyone's used to, weight, local preference, like, because we set those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went all the way to the bottom. He was like, oh snap. And the higher ups, they fixed that whole issue. But it was fun watching them, do it, because I was completely lost. I was like, oh, we passed MED? Oh.
Right, that's what I said. Like, okay.
You lost me that day, I'm gone, this and that. Yeah. But to watch them do it, it's pretty cool. Like, that's so fast. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta get that fast. Like,
man, it just takes seeing things and just time. I bet you they're a little bit older than you too.
Yeah, they're approaching 40. Probably like 9-10 year gap. Yeah. It's funny, my director said he got his CCIE in 6 months.
But ask him what he was doing prior to that.
He did have networking jobs prior to that.
Yeah, like
he didn't at the time either. So he said he didn't go out, he didn't do nothing. He had a 6-month plan, and that's what it was, So,
hey, what I found is that people that has been in the field for a minute and they do like consulting, and they touch a lot of route switch jobs, and implementing a lot of large scale projects, they can get their CCIE pretty easy. You're going to find what you're doing now, especially if you're troubleshooting in BGP and you're working with MPLS, Multicast, all that. You're going to find when you start studying for your CCIE that it's going to be relevant because you're already reading the CCNP. And I bet you a lot of that isn't even in that book.
Oh, you mean it's like as much as we
as much as you do, it's probably
over the book. You're actually right. Like, Multicast is not in that book at all.
Exactly.
Multicast is a pain, man. It's a pain. But some people make it look easy, and I shadow those guys. Like, I don't really shadow people anymore, but in a sense I still shadow. Like, I have what's called like a work mentor. So this guy named Mark, he came over, he had like 10 years experience. He came in, started running stuff like right away. I was like, whoa. My next job, that's how I got to come in. Like, you got to be confident in your abilities too. Like, especially when I first came in, I wasn't really confident in my ability to actually do things. Like, we implement changes and do like design work too.
Right.
I always question myself, like, okay, well, this is dumb. I'm new, junior guy, they're not really gonna, but sometimes I'm right, and they'll be like, yo, stop doubting yourself, and it is what it is, man. So I'm slowly coming up, man. I'm slowly coming up.
Hey, man, if I could suggest anything, is know that everything that you do, you learn from it, regardless of how you turn out. And if you, I don't know if you create Visio diagrams or if you got a whiteboard at your desk, I would have that up, draw it up, you know what I mean? And then if you got a lab it up, and if you implement something else that's already been implemented, go into those devices and see how it's working. And then, okay, this is what I need to do. And now go implement it and just be confident. And if something happens, you're going to learn from it regardless.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. I have the Visio up, and I'll go in NetBrain and just kind of map out things.
Yeah.
And I'll like redo it. And I mean, you can export from NetBrain into Visio, but I kind of just like building it on my own.
Right.
Especially when we have like time to kill. Like, I don't really like to waste time. Like, I'm either working on like a run book. I'm actually looking up like Python stuff, or I'm in like Visio just trying to map stuff out. Like, I had to make a PTP diagram a couple days ago for a company. And
PTP, what's PTP?
It's like precision time protocol, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I've never heard of it up until that point, because CCNA you NTP.
Yeah.
PTP is a whole different thing. So
that's what's up. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. I just Googled it. I'm gonna check that out. You teaching me something new, bro. But I can see it, being in the banking industry, they need time to be,
Yeah, you
especially on Wall Street. They need that. Hey,
oh man,
they need that stratum zero.
I can give y'all stories for days when a bank can't trade
Yeah,
for it can be 5 milliseconds. They on that phone like, hey, we had a gap at this such and such time. So you have to stop your whatever, like, you can be working on a change, but all things stop for production.
right.
You have to jump on that Corville and see if there was a gap in the network. Hopefully you got, sniffers set up. If you don't, you know, but yeah, man, if they can't trade for like 5 milliseconds, you in trouble. They in your ears.
Right.
In your ears, man.
And they need like 9 nines. They ain't even 5 9. They need like 100% of the time.
Yep.
I even heard like the pipes that come in on the internet is like right there on Wall Street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they can be closest to the.
Yeah. That's one thing we specialize in. We specialize in like low latency networking.
Okay.
So yeah, that's one of our main selling points. So, the lower the latency, you kind of want to design your network with the least amount of hops.
Exactly.
Sometimes you kind of have to manipulate a few things because you can't have like, no latency. Like it's gonna be a little, yeah, but it's really, really low. Like you really can't tell. And I think from what my coworkers were telling me, Arista switches have better latency things than Cisco does. I'm not sure. I'll check the numbers actually after the interview, but yeah, that's primarily why we use Arista, and we're actually working on Juniper stuff. So
okay. Hey, I got a question. And you mentioned this a while ago on Twitter as far as runbooks. Can you let people know what runbooks are?
Runbooks is okay. So say you come across an issue that'll probably cause people or make people have like a difficult time if it ever comes up again. The point of a runbook is you create the runbook with the steps that you took to solve that issue. So, and we use keywords in our ticketing systems. Right. So if someone comes up to that same issue, like say it takes a keyword from one of the issues, it'll show up on the side like, hey, such and such runbook. So that person can open the runbook, see what you did, and hopefully be able to solve that issue. I actually like creating those because it actually teaches me things too. Like I'm like, oh, okay. Like I remember the first runbook I ever created, it was to provision order entry access. Like order entry is basically how the banks use the ordering systems to trade and stuff. And, it was fun because as soon as I finished it, a new hire, he got hired and he said I did an excellent job because I had like the pictures and everything for people to follow. So yeah, creating runbooks is fun. I don't get to do it all the time because, more work is coming onto my plate. But when I do get a chance to do it, it's fun.
That's what's up. That's the documentation at its finest.
Exactly. It's funny because you said that the other day, like you want to leave your name on everything.
Facts, bro. Hey, when you gone, they're like, man, who the heck is Jarrett Todd? Like, who is this guy?
So when I do get a chance to work on runbooks, I will. I definitely want to take on the more challenging runbooks, like the whole BGP stuff. Like I want to take those on. I want to take on a couple like design-ish runbooks, but my time will come.
Yeah, just know that each one that you create is going to add to the documentation and help somebody else, and before you know it, your name is everywhere. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
Hey, man, I didn't say this when you mentioned it, but my prayers are going out to your mom and your grandma. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know what that's like. My grandmother, she's been dealing with her issues as far as health, and so just be encouraged, family.
I am, man. Yeah, they're good now. My grandmother, she has like Alzheimer's, so she's like forgetting a lot of stuff. She remembers like us, obviously, but a lot of things she don't remember. You tell her something today, she'll forget it in like 2 minutes. Like it's like stuff like that. And my mom, she had surgery, so yeah.
Like I said, man, my prayers are with you and your family, bro.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Man, yo, this was a dope interview, and I thank you for coming on. Is there any advice that you have for somebody that may be looking to follow your same path?
Advice. I should have had this prepared, man.
Oh, man, you good. I edited, bro.
Okay, cool. Advice. One thing, and this is what people like. I read this in the forums. They say you can't get a job with a CCNA. I got a job with a CCNA.
Facts.
A lot of people would downplay like, oh, yo, you might as well just go for this. Like, just try, man. Just try. Like, you never know who's looking for who. Like, a company can have a team full of senior guys, but they're always looking to hire one person that's willing to take all of the, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but willing to take all the garbage work to kind of alleviate the stress on the senior guys so the senior guys can focus on what they need to do. And that's kind of how I felt like I came in. Like, I'm willing to take all the work that I can learn from, alleviate the pain for the senior guys, and come in and do that. So yeah, just try, man. Apply. Like, don't wait. Like, I remember you told me a long time ago, as soon as you get that certification, as soon as you get that CCNA, start applying. You can start applying before the CCNA, as long as you have a date set. And if they see that date, it's like, hey, yo, I'm really going after this. This is what I know now. This is what, with this job, I can learn a lot, develop my skills, stuff like that. So yeah, just try. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to fail. I failed a couple times at my job. A lot of changes that I've made never gone through. But you can't hold your head. You just got to keep trying. Let's see. Start early. Shout out to Michael Hilton. He's
It's facts. Shout out to Michael.
I think we all say this once we get into the job. Is like, I wish I started this career track early. I wish I started this when I was 22. I wish I started this when I was 18. You look at Mike. How old is he now? 15.
He just turned 15. Yeah. Shout out to Michael, man. He just turned 15.
He's going in, man. I think a lot of people can learn from what he's doing. And it's like Dave Ramsey said, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Dave Ramsey, but he's like, live like no one else now so you can live like no one else later. And I think that's what Mike's doing. He could be outside, running around, chasing the women, but he trying to make sure his career right. As soon as he can get a job, as soon as he hit 18, he can skip college, the route that he's going. Like, he can have a CCIE, at 18 years old. That's a whole new ball game.
He's interning now with David Bumble, so he's already on his way. We got a great mentor in CCIE, David Bumble, so he's on his way, bro.
I think David, he got someone else too, Tom. He's the CCNA security guy, I think.
Is it the dude, Tom Wolfpackage?
Yeah, Wolfpackage. Yeah, Wolfpackage.
Yeah, David Bumble. Look, when I was going for my CCNA, and I first started doing GNS3, that's the person that just had it on lock, before everybody was talking about GNS3. So he's basically paved his own way, and I got a lot of respect for that.
I think I'm gonna try. You ever heard of EvenG?
I heard of EvenG, man. I haven't had a need to use it. Have you used it?
No, I seen Kelvin use it in one of his VPN videos, and I'm like, I actually looked. I think it's like $113 for the year or something like that.
Cheaper than viral.
Yeah, and it saves a bunch of CPU because that GNS3. Well,
it's not bad. I never had an issue with it, but
no. What kind of specs you running?
I got an i7 16 gigs of RAM.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I think they made it a lot better, right? Like, it's not like the old GNS3 where
I didn't have a problem with it then, bro.
No,
because like I watched the CBT Nuggets video where Jeremy showed you how to basically set your computer. It was called idle something. It's basically where GNS3 runs in like this idle process, and it doesn't cap out past that. And so I never really had a problem with it.
I always had issues. I mean, I have a server now, so I can run GNS3 on the server, but back like when I first started, like I couldn't run GNS3 on my laptop at all. Like, it was.
What you got?
I have a Dell R710. It's like right here. It's too heavy to pick up, but
No, I'm talking about your laptop.
Oh, I had it was an old laptop I had from back in the day when I was in college. I had a Asus laptop. Like it was like one of the
Aces.
cheaper Asus thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
put Linux on it now, so I can do my my Python stuff. So,
Okay. How's that coming for you, bro?
it's good, man. Still studying, still learning it. There's actually a guy at my job who's really, really good at Python. I have a couple ideas that I kind of want to bring across his table. Hopefully, we can help the job, get kicked up on this automation like they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Thing too, automation is here, but it's not taking you guys' jobs.
Right.
Now it's a long while before, it actually can replace the actual human mind. So
Yeah. Facts.
y'all don't have nothing to worry about. Networking will still be here.
Yeah.
It'll be here. Still it's on deck.
Especially as long as we got BGP.
Man, I done learned so much about BGP in a matter of 4 months. I'm about to go check on the fam. Make sure everything's good.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem, man.
All right, peace.
All right, YouTube. That was CLI Soldier. I hope you all enjoyed this interview. If you got questions, hit the comment section below. Like this video, share it out, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.